shit is bigger than me. Give me my flowers while I can still breathe. I'm smelling the glory, I taste it.
Yo, check it out. We back. You know what time it is, right?
It's M3ga Time.
And yo, what's going on with you today, man?
Nothing much, man. How's your fitness week?
Fitness week?
It's my favorite question to ask, right?
Always, every week. We're gonna ask this question all the time. But actually, it was pretty good. Started off with a little bit of chest, and then yesterday I did some legs, you know.
Yeah.
And today I did nothing actually. I just did a lot of driving around. But you know, and then I trained obviously. So
yeah.
But no, it's been pretty good. I had a great some great sessions. But
let's just say you're a trainer, right?
Correct.
So you're always moving. So
I don't even time out.
So even if you don't work out, you're working out.
In a sense, but I don't even like being called a trainer anymore.
Coach. What do you want to call it? What?
Yeah, health coach.
Okay, health coach.
Reason why?
New title.
But I'm gonna tell you why. Because a lot of people out there are just using this trainer thing to do other things, and I'm just really not cool with being labeled as that. So, I mean, of course, people are still gonna call me a personal trainer, but at the end of the day, I'm a health coach because I do more than just sit there and watch you lift weights and stuff like that. So, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, the trainer thing is out for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're entitled to be called whatever you like, sir.
Definitely. And I think that sits and that fits too.
That's good.
You know
okay. I didn't know we were sponsored by Highlighter, but I guess that's our new sponsor. So
yeah, you're looking pretty dull over there. But anyway,
it's all right. Blue all day.
No.
Let me tell you how my gym week has been. So as you all know, I was sick, and this is like episode, I don't know, it's gonna air like whenever I'm even better, right? But I started moving my body on Monday, and I am feeling like I'm thriving. I'm glowing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel happier, obviously, because I'm moving my body. And so I did a little bit of cardio on Monday just to see how my body was feeling. Still a little congested, but I felt great. And then Tuesday, I went in there and I did shoulders and chest. You know, ladies, get that chest working. And my shoulders feel amazing. It was a little weak, you know.
A little weak?
Yeah, because, you know, I was gone for a minute.
Like from Monday to Wednesday, a little week?
No, like I was gone 3 weeks, a little week.
You didn't get it, did you?
No, I didn't.
It went over your head.
Yeah. So
no, I'm messing with you. So you said you had chest and shoulders?
Chest and shoulders.
So that recovery time, remember we talked about it when
Yes.
I took that time off?
Yep.
It helps, right?
It does. And I thought I was a little nervous. I got the gym nerves, you know, when I don't know if you know, but I got gym nervous where it's like, oh, I was outside in the parking lot, like getting a little like nervous. My stomach was hurting. My stomach was hurting.
You have to go to the...
Not the bubble guts, but I was like got the butterflies.
Oh, okay.
I got the butterflies and I was just like, do I even want to go in there? Are they going to judge me?
My clients call it gym anxiety.
Gym anxiety. That's what it is. Yeah. So
I didn't know that was a thing, to be honest.
It's definitely, for me, it is a thing.
I've never known it to be a thing.
Yeah.
I'm more like adrenaline type of person.
Maybe that can be a form of anxiety for you. A little bit of adrenaline.
No, because like music, sports, those things are like stepping on stage, like performing.
Yeah.
That's anxiety. I know that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I could relate.
Going to the gym for me, no, I'm
going into a ring. That's what
I'm saying. But I'm not. Yeah. I'm not going into. I'm saying for me, like music, going to that kickoff.
Yeah.
Watching that ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but in the gym, nah.
But speaking of rings, we have a very special guest today.
I know we do.
I am so excited to have her here today. She is somebody that I've called her before to come and speak to kids, and she always shows up for me, and I love her so much, and I don't think she even knows how much I love her, but she is a world champion. She is a Hall of Famer. She is a bikini bodybuilder, if that's even, I don't even know how to call it, but I am so excited to have her here.
Just a great woman, right?
She's a great woman.
There we go. So look, this is my first time meeting her. So
I know.
I'm excited as well. You know what I mean? You know, so what are we going to do?
We're bringing on Sindy Amador to the show.
Let's go. Yo, so Sindy, how are you?
I'm I'm great. Thank you. I'm happy
Welcome
to be here.
to the show.
Let's go.
Thank you.
So
you.
quick question. Oh, you got the red on, you know. I love it.
Red
you know,
is powerful.
Hey, powerful. That's what I'm talking about. High fiving. That's what I'm talking about. That's
She
what I'm
saw
talking
the
about.
highlight.
I really check it out. Check it out.
I love it.
So I got a question to ask you, right? You know what I mean? Because we're going into this weekend. So who you got? KC or San Fran? What are we doing?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I gotta start it off hot. So I gotta see. I gotta know.
You guys.
San Fran.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no KC over here. But anyway, I just had to throw that one out there. But anyway, so we glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think this is another first time for me, right? Me and her, like we've been around each other, but we haven't really sat down and like I've never really interviewed her, right? It's just more of like a respect. Like she's a champion, she's a boxer, she respects me as my fighting history. I love that. But I want to know what made you start boxing.
Well, we're going back to when I was like probably 15 years old. Yes. I got a jump in the street. Back in, when I was living in Mexico. I was born and raised in Durango, Mexico.
Durango,
And,
shout out to my family from Durango.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're probably related.
Oh, yes. So probably you're my cousin. And yeah, I mean, I was just walking on the street and this girl just jump on me and she knew how to box.
Yeah.
So she punched me with fists, but also she grabbed my hair and like super bad. And then I remember I were, walking, getting home and crying with my dad, like, look what happened to me.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And after that, I just, because I was overweight too, I just decided to get in shape.
Okay.
And I got to this gym. It was like 24 hours. And they had this boxing class. And I was like, okay, so I get in shape, and then I get to
Learn how to fight.
learn self-defense.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with the sport. After that, because my dad used to be a boxer, he won the Golden Gloves in Mexico also
nice.
as well. And so I just fell in love with the sport, and he just took me to this professional gym in Mexico. But then life happens, and we immigrate to USA, and then I just came here, start working 2-3 jobs until I found one of the trainers that coached me in Mexico, in Durango, and I was like, oh, this
What
is
a
meant
small
to be.
world.
Yeah, this is meant to be. I was like, because since I discovered boxing, I just felt like something in my heart, like I felt that, this is for me. Like, this is what I want to do in life. Like that. I thought like, I was 15 and I was, when I turn 18, I'll be a world champion.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
It never plans out the way you want it to.
No.
So you went from 15. When did you move? When did you actually come to?
I was
USA?
17 years old when I
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But
So-
I was just like going to the gym, in it was a professional gym, but there was no coaches,
Gotcha.
You just get there, you do whatever you want to do.
Yep.
And if you get somebody to look at you and help you, you're lucky.
Very lucky.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And then you
but-
found a coach.
Yes, I found a coach right there, but then a month later, he immigrated to USA too. So he
man.
moved to San Diego, and then I got to Vegas. But then life happens, and I moved to Moreno Valley, and I saw him in the street.
Oh,
Yeah,
How old
so-
were you when you saw him in the street? How old were you?
I was about 19.
Okay, still young.
19.
You're still young, so
Yeah.
you're still ready to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
after that, like he tried to get me into boxing, but at the same time, like he was a very, very good guy. He was a champion in from Mexico, but he didn't know how to coach me really. Like he didn't have the connections,
That's important.
the knowledge, yes. But because of him, I met, so many other people. I went to different boxing. I started going to different boxing gyms. But it's more complicated, than that.
Then people think.
Yes.
It's way more complicated
It
than
is
that.
very complicated.
I know this is an off question, but do you feel like it's easier now for a lot of fighters to find the people, the connections, because of like maybe social media and stuff like that?
Yes,
So
definitely.
a lot easier.
Yes, way more easier. It's like the explosion of social media is like it's another era. Like
Yeah.
it's so different, from back in our days.
Right.
We really struggled to do anything.
Yeah.
Now, yes, it's way easier to do many things because
Right.
of social media. You get more connections, etc. But at the same time, I feel that also because everybody's into social media. A lot of people just do that just to feel like cool and just to be likable,
Right.
Yeah.
but not because
Right.
they really want to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see that a lot nowadays where it's like
They just want to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about the last episode, how or maybe, I don't know what episode it was, but how people look good doing mitts. But when
Oh my God,
when you
that
get in the
makes
ring-
me like, oh.
but when you go in the ring, they can't fight.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
like
Exactly,
that's the whole
exactly.
thing.
It's like that term that they say, you can hit anything that doesn't hit back. But
Exactly.
Once it hits back,
Exactly.
or if it moves,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep. So once you found the coach that made you a world champion, how long were you with him and what was that road like?
Oh, it was. I went from gym to gym, from Old Riverside, Casablanca,
Yeah.
Lincoln, Moreno Valley.
know
I,
that one,
I
yeah.
trained with Kalisha West.
Yeah.
Because I was her sparring partner for her
I could
first
see that.
championship.
Yeah.
There was a point that I was just tired from being, training and training and training, and it was really hard to look for fights, amateur fights, because I was working at IHOP, and I was very hard worker. That's one of the things that I appreciate of me, because I had this desire to become a champion. I don't know how, I don't know, but in my mind I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it.
There's no plan B.
There's no
That's
plan
dope.
B, exactly.
Yep.
So then I was just training, and every time they say, okay, we have a show, and we have a pre-match, and I was like, okay, let me ask for the day off.
Yeah.
So I went there, I weighed myself, no show.
Yep.
And then I lost my money, because
Yes.
it's
you're working,
hard.
yeah.
It's hard because you depend of your income, right? And then but at the same time it's like you have to risk to do what you want to
Risk
do.
for
It's
reward.
like yes,
Right.
yes, but it was hard. It was extremely hard. Amateur. I just had 4 fights.
And look at that. Look,
Yeah.
4
Only
fights
4
and became a
fights.
world champion.
Yes.
So you
yes.
said from amateurs or
From amateurs.
amateurs you had 4 fights and then became a pro
and
right
then
after that?
I just
That's dope.
because at that time I was 26 when I turned pro, and to me I felt like, oh, I'm too old. It's now or never. You know, it's because at that time I took a year off. I was just working, enjoying life, and I was like, maybe boxing is not for me. Everything else is going well in life, and I'm just training and training for nothing. And my dad is like, you should do something else. You should, if you wanna do like workout and be, and have a nice body, just go and do Zumba.
Oh man, the favorite.
Zumba.
Yeah.
That's the favorite right there.
Yeah.
Hey, just hearing you say all this, I'm like, man, they should make a little movie or documentary on that. You should, for real. That'd be dope.
I would like, even with my husband, like there's a lot of things that that we share, and it's never ending hobby. It's like there's always something more to say.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I love how relatable your story is. I can relate to it, and hopefully one day we can go sit down and I can tell you everything about it. But I really want to understand what it took to be the world to understand what it takes to be a world champion, right? So like, what does that feel like? You going into your world title fight and having that fight and having that feeling. Can you explain? Because nobody will ever know unless you're a champion, right?
Yeah. The funny thing is that you sometimes like you wish like, okay, when I like me, okay, all I want to do in life is like to become a world champion. That was like my goal, like my biggest dream, And the thing is like when you actually get there, it's like nothing is like you
Expected.
Yeah, because honestly, it's like your life doesn't change. I mean, I like it changed, yes, but you think like, oh, I'll be a world champion, I'll be millionaire, I'll be like well known, everything is gonna change. Nothing changed
For women.
For women in that time.
sucks, man.
Yeah, it
For
is
women.
because actually I was. It was sad. It was sad because I remember, okay, I had my title, but I was like in the room, in the hotel by myself.
Yeah.
My family just went to see me and it was, alone, home
Yeah.
alone. And it feels like, empty.
Like, this is what I
They
wanted.
say it's lonely at the top, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes.
part of that feeling probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, like, okay, I'm a world champion, but I'm not getting fights. Nobody wants to fight me.
Nobody wants to fight you.
No.
That was one of the hardest things for me,
Yes.
that I could not find fights because of my size, because of my. I remember going to fights and girls looking at me and be like, "No, I'm good," and would leave. Yeah. And that was so discouraging.
So, a question just to both of you, because you guys are both women. I've done my thing in combat, but so nobody wants to fight. What are these promoters doing now? That's my question.
Yeah.
Like, what are the promoters? Because like, if you're a fighter, and they're like, okay, well, no, I don't want to fight her. How are you picking your fights? Are these fighters picking the fights or the promoters picking? Because they're going to go with the best one, right?
The fighter does what the manager and the promoter tell him to do, basically.
So that's what I'm saying.
back in the day. Now it's a little different, right?
The fighters are running everything.
Fighters have a little more say, I think.
because they got too much money now.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, there is more money.
There's just more money. They got so
Yeah.
much money. Like, the endorsements now and, like, the sponsors now are, like, from what I see, just from me watching even, boxing, or rather as UFC or anything, or, even watching kickboxing. I remember watching Pride, and I'm looking at these guys like, there's just so much money now. Like, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
The money is so big that the fighters can really be like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And I got the money to do it, so let's do this.
Things really changed with Mayweather, right? Because he really, I feel, because he really came in and, like, showed that you can buy yourself out of the contract. He bought himself out of his contract.
Yeah,
he put himself in a position to where he made a lot of money under his promotion company. And a lot of fighters took to that because they looked up to him.
Right.
For women, it's a little different because we're still underpaid. We're still not, we have
mismatches,
mismatches
I fight
all the
with
time.
Bigger girls all the time.
Because there's not enough. There's
last
not,
minute fights,
Yeah.
It's not enough to go around.
It's not enough because you know what? Women in the fighting world have to do more than one job. You don't get to just, if you're lucky, you get to sit there and train for a fight. If there's some females out there that get to just train for a fight. But when I was coming up, my sparring partner was a teacher. She had to go to work and then come after. I was working a full-time job. I would go and train whenever I had the time to train. And so, she was working at IHOP, she was training and she was a world champion.
My whole career, even after I retired when I was a champion, but once I retire, I have to go back to IHOP because, from boxing, like I never make money.
Women
I
don't.
lose money. Like I
That's
invest
crazy.
more
But I
money
feel
The
like
highest
with men and
paid
things.
female boxer has only made $1 million, and that's off of Logan Paul's promotion.
Yes.
Well, now let me ask you this:
Amanda
that's with no sponsors. That's just straight
That's
boxing?
just from a fight. 1 million.
So that's tough.
That's tough.
So but you know what? It's like that in every sport
Every
for women.
women's
Yes.
sport.
Every
yeah.
women's sport. From basketball to soccer.
Yeah.
To I ain't gonna say tennis, and I ain't gonna say golf
Well,
either.
yeah.
Because those ones right there, they get
That's
some
a different.
They get some crazy.
That's
money.
a different color sport. That's why. That's it.
Yeah, but there's
If you really want to be honest about it, if we want to be truthful, it's a very white branded sport. So
true enough. So
they're
when other
putting the
people
money
come in-
behind that, and they want to see certain things on camera. But we're if you want to get political, but I don't think we want to do that.
Yeah, we leave the
So-
politics alone.
I want to know what the tough. One of the questions we had is that what is the toughest fight that you've ever had inside the ring and outside the ring?
We're gonna rephrase that real quick.
Yeah,
Hold
go
on,
ahead and
hold on.
rephrase it for me.
We're gonna rephrase it. What's the toughest battle
Yes.
that you've had inside the ring and outside the ring?
Well, inside the ring, I just feel that every single fight it was a battle to me. Every
Yes.
single fight, it's like I never take anything lightly. Like I always train
Yep.
to the limit.
Got you.
And the sparring partners, they were, men because
Yep.
there were no girls. And I took a beating all the time. But in that, because of that, I became a world champion because of all the hard work, the sparring, the hard sparring, all the conditioning training at 4 a.m., then go to work, and then go to the gym, and then come back at 9 p.m., just go to sleep. And it's hard. It's hard. Looking for sponsors at the time.
Yep.
I never got signed by a promoter. I got lucky that I fought for Thompson Boxing Promotions because I sold, tickets, because I brought a lot of people. I was very likable, very excited as a fighter.
She still is. You still are.
You still have that.
But it was, very, very hard. I will say the hardest fight, it was when I fought for a title. And I had all the support, I got Univision coming to iHub, recording me and telling a story about me. I felt that I was undefeated, 10-0, and I felt that, okay, this is my time. But it feels weird at the same time, like having like all the support and all the focus in you, because it's like, really? It's like...
It's about me. It's about me right now.
It's about me now. And I just felt like a lot of pressure because I never thought about losing. I never thought, because I was like, okay, in my mind, I'm a winner because I work hard and I fight. I get ready to win, to fight and to win. But in that fight, everything was different. Everything went. Even I had the best training camp as usual. A lot of things went wrong, and it was hard because I got dropped twice in the fight. I got up and I never got dropped, not even in sparring, never.
Yeah.
And I got dropped twice, and for the championship, finally, my opportunity to become a world champion, and I got dropped, and I got up, and I finished the fight. I lost by a split decision, but it's like I faced it like reality, where is all the people? Like, where's all my fans that they like me when I was undefeated and I was supposed to be a world champion now? Like, I was like home alone again,
It's that saying where it's like when you're on top, people love you, and on the bottom is ain't nowhere.
Exactly.
Nowhere to be
That's
found.
tough, man.
Yeah.
Well, check this out. So, and that what about your battle outside of the gym? Like like what I'm like. So obviously we know you fight and whatnot, and that's a battle in itself. And then the like you said, the pressures you have to deal with and stuff like that. Now outside the gym, what were your battles that you had to deal with personally? You know what I mean?
Personal, well, especially after my retirement, because I got injury. I had retina detachment, and then I got, after I became a world champion, I defended my title a couple of times, and I was moving up divisions, and I had scheduled this big fight. It was going to be televised. It was going to be like in another weight division, so I don't have to drop like much weight. I was already in weight for like a month. Yeah. And like 2 weeks before the fight, I got a retina detachment. And they took me to the hospital by emergency, and they tried to fix my retina. They fixed it, but I developed another illness in my eye. So I wasn't able to continue fight. Like I had to, I was forced to retire.
Yeah, that's an injury that a lot of fighters get that doesn't really get talked about.
The retina, it's very common.
Didn't boy that just fought Crawford, he had it.
No, he had a concussion from a car accident.
Yes.
That was from a car accident.
That was from the car accident.
That was from a car accident. Yeah.
And he said he shouldn't have been fighting in the first place.
Crawford shouldn't have been fighting because he took a long time. He shouldn't have had that big of a fight coming back from his car accident. He should have had a build-up fight. That was a fight that he shouldn't have, I don't know who manages him, but that shouldn't have been happening.
That was money.
That was,
That's all it was about.
Yeah, it was sad. I still like him though, but whatever. Spence, you meant Spence.
Yeah, Spence, there you go. So the next question is, so obviously, you know, I train, I work out, I do all this crazy stuff.
He's not big for no reason, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Hey, so what made you want to get into, obviously after boxing, when you transitioned to, from boxing to, bikini, what made you want to do that?
Funny thing is that every time I weigh myself for boxing, my body, the transformation of my body was like insane. I had six pack, big biceps, like big legs, because all the conditioning working, all the
I miss those days.
Yeah, so and
it
then
was awesome.
And I don't know, for some reason, like every weigh-in I had is like all the guys were like, "Oh my God, you look like bikini fitness. You should be a bodybuilder." Da, da, da.
Gotcha.
And in my mind, I was like, "Yeah, I mean, why not? Maybe after I had something else to do after boxing." But it took me like I don't know, 7 years to find the right coach.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time.
Shout out to Jasmine.
Jasmine too.
She's amazing.
Jasmine Williams, my coach. Yes.
Nice. That's dope.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get her on the podcast.
Yes. Hopefully, yeah.
I think a lot of for instance, for me, like playing ball, boxing, mixed martial arts and stuff like that, I think you do have to find something. Like I needed something to calm me down.
Yes.
Right? I needed something to like really, when you're doing sports like that, and then you need something to really keep you, for one, keep you humble, and then for two, really keep you calm. And just kind of walk a straight path, because if you already have, like, for instance, like you're a boxer, you have that aggression in you.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
You have that aggression. So just knowing that, like, you have to really kind of just say, like, you can't be walking the streets just wanting to fight random people. You can't be out here wanting to, just act up.
Going to the sauna and just trying to trigger people.
Over here not wanting to apologize. But anyway, And a lot of people have that. I know guys that have fought and they really be out in the clubs and be in the bars really trying to start fights. And it's like, bro, like one of these days you're gonna run into somebody and get your ass kicked.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Playing around, because a street fight and a ring fight and all of that, somebody go over your head with a chair, bro. You might not get out of this spot. You know what I'm saying? You might go to the ER after this. So I always tell people, like, man, like, being in the gym after you're doing a lot of those things and playing aggressive sports, whether it's combat, football. I only name those three, those because obviously everybody knows what you have to be like doing a combat sport and the mindset you have to have playing football. Those things, your aggression, your everything about you has to be on like top tier almost. Yes. And especially to be elite, especially to be a world champion, correct? Correct. To even be in the talks of that. So I just wanted to know. But I think that's dope. I think we all kind of need that cover at the end of the day to kind of keep us like, what I'm saying? Yes. In the right mind state.
I think at the end of the day, you're still an athlete, right? No matter what, whether you're doing boxing, whether you're doing, you always want that next thing. I have to be doing something. I have to compete for something, right?
Yes, especially like after, I had my first bodybuilding show, in 2000, what was it? 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
I know, I saw you.
In October. And then I compete the same month twice. Yes. And I became, I only got 8 weeks. Usually it takes like 12 weeks minimum. And in 8 weeks, because all the boxing, I think that mindset helped me a lot. Mm-hmm. And after that, I had a surgery. I had to, a major surgery. And my body went like all swole up, like super swollen. And I thought to myself, once I'm ready to go, I just gonna jump back into it and compete. Yeah. And I did, right away, because I feel like I need that challenge. It's like,
there you go.
And now, like, I think it's been a big break after the holidays, and I'm telling my husband, like,
I'm ready.
Because I feel like I need something to keep me like alive, focused, excited, like
We've had those conversations.
And I've been feeling that in bodybuilding. Yeah, it's like I'm starting and I can't wait. And it's not like about showing off my body or compete with other people. It's like the challenge is
you versus
yourself.
You.
Yes. It really is.
So it's been amazing.
It's you versus you. Yeah.
And you've done all that already. So that doesn't even let's look at a point in time like where that doesn't even matter anymore. Like, I mean, obviously everybody's like you said. When you go to your weigh-ins, they see your body already. You're not showing off. This is what you do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people all the time, not to put it on me, but like if I'm doing something or if I'm working out and I post a video, or if I post a video like this, it's like, what are you showing off? Honestly, that's not even. He's not
love
that.
yourself.
It's not that.
You're loving yourself.
Yeah, but this is just the mindset of people who these are the couch potatoes.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
For sure. You know what? I think it's when somebody has something negative to say about you about you loving yourself, is because they're not in tune with themselves.
That's
you know?
true.
And I just started wanting to do. Shout out to Jasmine. She was my nutritionist for a very long time, and I can't wait.
Really, really good.
I love her. I love her. One thing I want to say, you know that I want to start bodybuilding. We've had conversations about it. What is your overall goal for bodybuilding? What is it? Do you want to do wellness? Do you want to turn pro? Do you want to go to Miss Olympia? Like, what is it? What is it that you want?
I just think, the sky is the limit.
Yeah. I see that for you.
As the mom, as right now, I just go like one day at a time, because all these holidays I feel that it's the first time that I really like relax.
Yeah.
Like not
Enjoyed
thinking
life.
about, because to me it's like, it's not about, losing weight or getting fit. It's like when I don't work out, like my mind start like going,
Start dribbling everywhere. Just like, yo.
And I experience like, because a lot of people is like, oh no, you should just relax and have fun. And my dad, always like, have panecito, you have cookies, you have like
with the
cafe. And I love all that. But at the same time, it's like, no, I just don't want to be, a fat woman sitting in the couch. Like, that's just not me. I mean, it's okay to enjoy.
Yeah.
But to me, I rather sacrifice, because it is a sacrifice.
It is.
It is a commitment, especially like now in bodybuilding. I really, for the first time, I really got into nutrition.
Yes.
I really got into eat, because I always was skipping meals, and then for boxing is like,
you cut.
I never cut out I just like one day with no eating, no drinking water, just to make weight.
Yes. You gotta cut.
It's like that. And in bodybuilding, what I like is that you eat.
You feed your muscles.
You
feed your muscles.
And it's not about weight. It's like sometimes like my coach Jasmine is like, I go like, oh, the scale, I gain weight. And she's like, but look
at your body.
Yeah.
You know what?
And
what I
like,
tell you when you came in, right? I
used
used to tell her when she used to come in, I said, dude, don't get on the scale.
Yeah,
One thing about me
focus on the
as a
scale.
trainer, I'm like, I don't give a damn about the scale or measurements or any of that. My question to you is, what do you look like in the mirror when you walk past?
Yeah.
Yes.
How does your clothes fit you now?
Yes.
That's always going to be the thing for me, because one thing I do know about that damn scale, it would discourage the hell out of
Oh,
people.
yes. Yeah.
People, I wish they would change that mindset. I didn't learn that until I started. I'm a aspiring bodybuilder. I'm not a bodybuilder at all. I don't want people thinking like, I want to title myself that, because I'm not aspiring. But what I learned is that I always tell people, I don't care about the number on the scale. What I care is my body fat and what my muscle my muscle mass is, and that's what really matters. And yes, you did tell me that, and I did not listen to you at first.
Yeah.
But now that I'm an aspiring bodybuilder, I am learning so much about my body and what it really takes, and it's a mental for me too.
Yeah.
If once you're an athlete, you're an athlete. It's never gonna go away.
Yeah.
We don't move our all three of us. If we don't move our bodies, we're really like mentally like anxious.
But I'm gonna tell you something though. So for me, like, it's weird, right? So I took that time off, and I was just like, well, I don't care.
Yeah.
I've been in so many situations where I've had to sit down, so it becomes like a thing where it's just like, all right. But one thing I do have that nobody knows that I have, a lot of people don't know that I have, to keep me kind of like mentally from probably being a little bit different.
Yeah.
The music. So I'll just write music.
Yeah.
And I'll just express it on paper and just put down whatever on paper.
Yeah.
And I just mess around. But that keeps me kind of like tuned into my mental a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm expressing something. Yeah. And when I'm in the gym, I'm expressing everything. Without saying words though.
That's right.
What kind of advice would you give somebody like myself or a male or whoever of transitioning from one sport to the next? Because you were a boxer and your mentality was like a boxer, but now you're we mentioned the food thing, but like what else? What advice would you give somebody like me? I was a boxer. Now I'm trying to do aspiring bodybuilding. What kind of advice would you give us?
Well, I think you have to have an open mind and let you be guided.
Guided, coachable,
guided.
coachable,
Yes,
right?
yes, coachable. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Ooh.
yeah, I mean, to me, I mean, I always been
I
a
was not
good
coachable.
a good student.
This one over here.
I always listened.
Yeah.
Yes, like for example, for me, it wasn't hard to do the like the lifting and all
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah,
the
I
easy
don't
part.
have the best form, because I don't have like your coach. You coach her like one-on-one all the time, right?
Yeah.
To me, Jasmine is like my online coach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I do everything online, and I send her videos and da
Yeah.
da da. But the posing session is like what to me was like, oh my god, this is hard because in boxing like you're like this,
Yes.
right? So. And I always wear high heels.
Yes.
It's not about that. The heels that you use, they're different.
Way different.
The posing, like your back,
Yes.
you have to have tummy in all the time. You have to
It hurts.
breathe, and it's like,
Hey, listen.
that's
It hurts.
painful. That
I've
is
never
like,
done posing before. Look, everybody's
not
like,
fun.
you should get on stage. I'm like, I did one time. I had a guy actually show me. He showed me how to pose, and at first I was like, dude, I don't have like these muscles. Dude, he made me do it. I have a picture. He made me do a pose, and I never seen my back look like that ever.
Yeah.
The way he made me pose, and like, everything just popped out. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah.
I didn't even know I had that.
Right.
But again, I don't ever see my back. But
Right.
just saying, like, I'm going to just tell all you aspiring bodybuilders and all of you bodybuilders, I know that posing shit is hard.
Very
I know
hard.
for a fact.
It is.
That's
It
probably
is.
harder than the workouts, to be real with you.
yeah, to me, it was like I had
Oh my
like a
gosh.
30-minute session every time. And I was like dropping in sweat, like
Yes.
Yeah.
extreme.
Yes.
And then like in my mind I was like I do it perfect, and Jasmine was like, nope,
Correct
you're
this,
way
do
too
this, that.
open, da, da, da.
Yeah.
And she's like
Yes, she is. She is.
no, just like do
Yeah.
this and no faces, don't roll your eyes at me.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
do
yes,
this
yes,
thing,
yes.
right? But then to me that was
Yeah.
the hardest part.
Yeah.
But then it's like you have to educate yourself. I mean, if that's your weakness, like you have to keep working
Every
working.
day.
And I've been looking at girls that they pose for an hour every single day, and when they're off season, they do off season the way it should be. Like off season is not like, oh, okay, you can just eat whatever you want. No, you keep going and working harder, so that way when you're ready to compete, you're ready to go.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so check it out. So like what, like right now at at your stage in life, what would you give? What advice would you give your younger self?
My younger self.
That 15-year-old girl. There we go.
Yeah.
That 15-year-old girl. Like, what would you tell that 15-year-old
Yeah.
girl?
Today.
Because there's a lot of 15-year-old girls that probably
Yes.
would love to
Look-
hear this advice.
Yeah. I think what I said to myself, the same thing. Just go for it. Never stop dreaming and
Yeah.
go for it. I mean, anything is possible, and go for it, because a lot of times people doubt you.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Preach.
especially like your own family, a lot of times they don't
Yep.
support you, especially in a tough sport like boxing for women. It's been like a lot of people make fun of me, mock me.
Yep.
But I believe in myself, and I think that's one of the things that you have to do, like believe in yourself no matter what, no matter the circumstances. And I have to keep repeating myself that, because sometimes like when you grow up as an adult, you forget about your dreams.
Yes.
And it's like you
Yeah.
forget about that sparkle
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
you, and you start doubting, because maybe I'm getting old, I don't have time, this and that. But I think I have to start repeating that to myself. Like I have to continue to believing in me.
Yes.
Because
Right.
the sky is the limit.
Definitely.
One
know.
thing that resonates from you, that just shines off of you, is confidence.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, Cindy, I don't think you understand how much I love you.
I love you too.
Like, I don't think you understand, but
Thank you.
you definitely bring off confidence, and I know I get that a lot. Like, oh, your energy is great. You seem so confident, but deep down inside, people don't really know what we're dealing with on the
yes.
inside.
Yeah.
And it's really great that you express that you yourself tell yourself that you have those days where you don't feel like you have that sparkle, and hopefully women and girls even men who watch this episode can get that from you, that you have to remind yourself that you are that person and you have that sparkle. So thank you for saying that, because that makes me feel better too. It's just in here listening to you that that we're similar in that way.
I think a lot of people, they just, like, I think confidence starts, like you said, like your family's not there for you. We had a conversation. You told me some stuff, and I always told people this, even when I was younger, like confidence starts in your household.
Yeah.
It should start in your household. Like when you're told, when you're a little girl and you're not told you're gorgeous, when you're a little boy and you're not told you're handsome, when you're a little girl, you're not told you can do it, baby. You can, know, hey son, you can do this, whatever. Or brother, whatever. Like I come from a family where like I'm always supported. Yeah. Like no matter what I do.
I can tell your family is awesome. Yeah, your mom is beautiful. Like
his mom is so beautiful.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to your mom. Her skincare routine must be amazing because her skin glows.
Style, she wears like beautiful clothes.
Hey man, when I was a kid,
show her this episode.
Hey, no, she gonna watch it for sure. You know what's crazy? Like when I was a kid though, like when people would say stuff about my mom, I still get kind of weird out when people say stuff about my mom. I don't know, it's just weird. And like I remember,
I used to love that when people would glorify my mom. Like, she is gorgeous.
No. Look, check this out. Somebody said something crazy about my mom one time when I was in high school.
Well, what kind of crazy?
He just said something out the rip, and I don't want to go into
Well, there you go. That's the problem. We're talking about her beauty. She's
I get it, but he was talking about it, but he said it in a weird way, and I just...
Well, that deserves checking.
No, it was more than a check.
Oh, okay.
It was a few checks.
I think we're both Mexican. Your family's from Durango. Your mom and your dad?
My mom, yes. My dad was from Zacatecas, and my mom was from Sonora, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they moved to Durango. They met in Durango, and I was born in Durango.
So my dad is from Durango, and my mom is from Nayarit, and it's two different worlds.
Yes.
Durango is very like Durango, right? And people from Durango, they will know it's very like desert, dry.
Oh, like
super paisa, like Mexican.
The weather is kind of similar to Las Vegas, like extreme, like super
I'm about to say like Barstow
super.
Or something like that.
Yeah, very deserty. So both I get two different sides. My mom is from like tropical, like forest,
Miami vibes.
They're very Miami-ish, like very I don't know, frescas, I guess, or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it or whatever. But to talk about support, my mom. And I think your dad is very supportive of you.
Kind of.
Well, from your Instagram, it seems like he's always like, you guys are always very close.
Yeah,
you guys are
we
close.
are. We are very close. But my mom passed away when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
So then I had two sisters, and my dad remarried right away. So it was I had a very sad childhood.
Yeah.
And then when my dad immigrated to USA, I follow his steps. So in this country, yes, it's been me and him.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that he's, he tries. Like now, like I'm
For
getting
a man,
older.
right? Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I understand better and better as I get older.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, even he was a fighter. He was a boxer.
Yeah.
And I think of me like, I have it on my blood because of you.
Yeah.
I mean, he never was the dad that came to the gym to train me, to Sammy train not even once.
Yeah.
Like none. But once I turned pro, he came, and support me in every single fight. He helped me to sell tickets, and all those things. But he has, no fashion mentality.
Yeah,
I was gonna say this. So, like, for instance, like my pops, like especially when I started doing music, like, other than him, like he was probably my worst critic.
Oh yeah.
And I think that would, just hearing what you're saying is like my dad would. Like, I feel like every song, like, dude, do you like any of my music?
Yeah.
Like, bro, or am I doing this workout right? Or am I playing hard enough?
Yes.
Like, so I was just so tough on us because I think a lot of times, even for me, I do it with my kids sometimes, like, I want to see you do it before I fuck.
You do that to all your clients.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how you train.
But hold on, I'm talking about family right now.
Yeah,
hold on. So, and y'all family too, so don't get it twisted. But I was like, I like to sit back and just like, yo, I want to see you fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see what you're gonna do. So, like for instance, like my daughter said she wanted to be a photographer. I said, okay, cool. Start taking pictures with your phone. This
Yes.
iPhone takes great pictures,
Great
right?
pictures.
So check it out.
Yeah.
She never did it. So I'm gonna buy a camera.
You don't
No.
want to do it.
No.
I'm gonna buy a camera anyway because I need a camera. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give it to her. But I'm one of those parents who's like, I will support you to the max, but I want to see you do it. And what I think, I don't know if you ever had a conversation with him, but what I'm thinking just hearing you speak is like, maybe he wanted to see you do it.
I don't really know. I think in this case, it was that sometimes your parents, they afraid, they want to protect you
Yep.
Okay.
Overprotective.
I can see that
in a
too.
way.
Mexicans.
And especially like in boxing, I
Yeah, that's a
remember
tough one.
like hearing like the neighbors, oh, your dad runs, huh? He jogs every morning. I go like, really?
Yeah.
No, every time I was getting ready for a fight because his mind, maybe he was like super, like nervous about
He had
me
to run.
that he had
Yeah.
he had
to
to
get
do
it out
it.
of there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
emotions
Yeah.
and things like, it's because it's a tough sport. You can
Yeah.
lose your life in a ring.
Yes.
And then when I did the transition in bodybuilding, he came and support me and da. And but he's like, no, he was like cheering for other girls better than me.
Oh my gosh.
And then-
Maybe because he thought they were beautiful.
Well, yeah,
You
I
know.
don't mind.
You
I
know.
don't mind that. But and I won first and fifth, right?
Yeah.
The first show, and I was excited and ready for the second. And he's like, "Oh no, that's enough. You don't need to do more. No, that's for tell people, mija. You don't need to do that."
Ay, ay, ay.
I was like, "What do you mean? I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do, and you're not gonna tell me what to do."
But that's good that you have that fighting mentality.
And I was like, and who told you that that's not for sure people?
Exactly. Look at
There's
you.
different categories. Like, and you're not going to tell
No.
me. And
Yeah.
guess what? I compete and I won twice the first
Yes.
place.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, but, that's it. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes I feel that, it's a lot of sacrifice because of your meals. And I had to get up in the morning early and do my cardio and then go to the gym and then go back
Yep.
and do my cardio. And life and work. So it is hard
tough.
work, but it's my choice. And I'm thinking like, what do you'd rather having me like getting drunk or going
I know.
out or
That's
doing
my
other
que-
things like
That
it's
kind
like
of
I don't know.
That kind of
Yeah.
leads to my next question. So you mentioned a lot of sacrifices. Everything's a lot of sacrifice. Fighting is a lot of sacrifice.
Yes.
Being a woman, how do you manage having a relationship? Because you're married, right? How do you?
Finally.
Well, I'm single, so I'm trying to understand, because I have a lot of sacrifice, but I'm not competing, right? So a lot of times I get that, like, why are you doing this? It's like, why are you going to the gym twice a day? Why do you go at such weird hours? And coming from somebody who's single,
Yeah.
how do you manage that? How do you manage that the relationship while you're sacrificing as a fighter, as a bikini pro, bikini bodybuilder? How do you manage that?
Well, luckily, my husband supports me like 100%.
Shout out to the husband.
Hey.
Shout out to
Yay.
Paco.
Big shout out. Big shout out.
He's my number one fan. Like really. We met after boxing.
Okay.
We met in a boxing event because he was a fighter too, and we have a lot of friends in common.
Okay.
But I remember one of our first dates. We went to this. What was the bakery? Porters, yeah.
Oh, Portos,
and
I
then
love
we were
Portos.
eating bread and And I told him, I wish
It's amazing.
I would like to try bodybuilding, like with 40 pounds over.
Yeah.
But he believed in me,
That's awesome.
and we were just, friends at that time. We wasn't like officially
Yeah, you're dating.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, like in every show I have, especially for the first show, there's, I don't know if that happened. Well, probably you're going to experience that. But when you into the prep for a competition, there's, week by week. And at the middle of the prep, I was like, I don't think I can do it.
Because you want to go. It's so much. It's just grueling.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think, I was doubting myself.
Yeah.
Because you start you're starting comparing yourself with other girls, you know, and you see those photos, and I was like, I told Paco, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I don't think I can do it. But luckily, you know, my coach, my friends, you know, because my teammates, they're amazing. Like it's a support system. And yes. And my husband, he's like, no, like, what do you mean? Look at your body. Look at your pictures. Like, you look amazing. And honestly, like, because of him. And also, like, all this, you know, knowledge that we're getting, you know, of changing our habits. And that when I'm in prep, I cook for everybody. Like, you know, you're going to eat this. I'm sorry. But if not, you can eat whatever you want, but I'm cooking for everybody. So he actually, like, for the last prep, he lost a lot of weight too.
Good job, Paco.
Like, had you over there dropping down.
He's going to do bodybuilding too next.
Jasmine is like, when are you getting into body? He's like, no.
You don't have no cheat meals on the side?
No. We're trying to do something different for our podcast, right? And hopefully it's okay with you, where we have the guests ask us questions. Because I think a lot of times when we watch podcasts, like the guests just answer a bunch of questions. You don't really know us. So this is your opportunity to have the spotlight and get to know us. So you can ask him whatever you like, and you can ask me whatever you like. Mm-hmm. So feel free to take the wheel.
It's on you right now.
Okay. Vanessa, where
Get her.
Okay. I'm getting nervous now.
I am getting nervous. My stomach is
hurting. So how do you see yourself in the next 2 years? Like you said, okay, in bodybuilding, like talking about bodybuilding, like, are you ready? Is for sure you want to do it? Yes or no? And if so, when? What's your plan? Okay. I'm going to make you sign up with Jasmine right now.
So I think, you know, both of you, I've had a conversation with both of you about this. When it comes to my fitness, when it came to me losing the weight that I've already lost, I've never wanted something more than to be on that stage.
Oh, wow.
Because I didn't get the opportunity to become a world champion. I feel like there's always something missing. Like I feel that feeling of like, if I can get in the ring, I would get in the ring, you know? But obviously I'm too old. You're never too old. You're never too old. But it's just, I have other priorities. That's a lot of dedication. So is bodybuilding, but that's something that is attainable right now, you know? Yes. In the next 2 years, I hope to be on my first stage in 12 months.
Okay, a year.
And then I hope to be on stage at least 5 times in my life in the next 2 years.
Oh wow! So
you're pushing it.
So if that's what I plan on doing, I'm not saying I want to go pro. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I don't want to go pro, or get a pro card, right? I used to go pro, it's a boxing lingo, but but my main goal in the next 12 months is to be on my first stage. Yeah.
Okay.
Do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Thank you for asking.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You got it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It. I mean, I'll never. I remember when you first told me about it, and I was just like, again, I hit you with that.
Show me.
Show me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's, I think the hard part to me is the nutrition. You know.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Jasmine, man, Jasmine.
Yeah, but you saw results.
Yeah. She's
right away.
I want her on the podcast because I really want to talk to her about her.
And it's so funny because I'm sure you can experience that with your coach because they read you. Like you don't have to say yes or no because they know if you're doing good or not.
Every single time.
He knows if if you did your cardio or no.
Yeah. Can you say that to the camera right there again, please? Because I think a lot of people need to hear this. So I tell my clients all the time, look, I don't know why you think you can just get over on me. Like I see it. I see it every week, every month, every year, every day. Yeah. So you can't get away from it. When the nutrition's not right, when you're not sleeping well, when you had a weekend out, when you've been just having whatever type of meals you like, your performance is going to change.
Yeah.
So
I think that we have that in common though, where our work ethic, all three of us have that in common. Our work ethic is unmatched.
Facts.
You know, I watch you. I'm telling you, you don't know how much I love you. But I watch your Instagram and I get so inspired by it because it's like you don't let nothing stop you.
You know, thank God that's working out is my outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, especially like in pandemic, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't have equipment. I
was
didn't
going
have
crazy.
any equipment, like
Yeah.
no dumbbells, nothing. And my dad had some wood. And I just was carrying the wood, cutting the
Yeah.
wood, doing whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
Outside, no, nothing outdoors. Like doing my shadow boxing, doing my jumping, and I maintained. I was
Yes.
really good in pandemic. So, and then when I went to the first bodybuilding show, I saw some guy that he lost like I don't even know how over 40 pounds probably, and he got ready in pandemic and he competed in bodybuilding. So I think like that's amazing, you know, no excuses. If you want to do it, it's like you have to all go all in or don't go at all.
I always tell people the nutrition to me is the easiest part. It's the
Really? That's
to
good.
me to me the nutrition when it comes to discipline, unmatched. Food is easy. Discipline working out because of my mindset was as a boxer. When I first started working out with him, I was like, I don't know what to do. I just know how to hit the bag and do, boxing workouts.
Yeah.
Even now, obviously my workout videos, I'm not the perfect form, not the perfect, whatever, but catch me in the ring. Anyways, his turn. If you have any questions for him.
Okay, well, yeah, a lot of questions. Like
What?
I would like to do I would like to know like your journey in fitness and all the
journey?
sports like how you have like it's very intriguing like you've been in all the sports like your family obviously your brother like you have that it's in the family you know it's like
Okay, I got you. So I'm gonna try and summarize this.
you see?
All right. So from how do I say? I'm gonna try and start from. I'm gonna start from like the peak of when it like first started. I was 12 when I first started working out.
Oh wow.
And then I met my boy Christian, and we used to box. That's how I got into the whole like
I know
boxing,
Christian.
wanting to box. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I played football at Rancho Verde. And so, just being, and I ran track, just being an athlete, you know what I mean, as a kid, like, you know what I mean, just constantly just doing something. But when I first started weightlifting was like I was 12, and probably shouldn't have been. But
Yeah, that's something that I'm curious. Like what's the age that you think is the proper age for a kid to do like lifting?
weights. So
Like weights.
I think we were lied to. I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight that that I've educated myself on. I know we were lied to. Weightlifting, it doesn't stunt your growth or anything like that. It's how you're lifting, what you're lifting, and that's the thing. Like when you see, there should be no kids that are putting a bar on their back at 12 years old.
No.
14 years
good.
old. I think that when the time, because your puberty stage, like for a male or a female, you should be doing that like around when you're like 16, so you can hit your peak. You know what I mean? And you can get your height and your joints and stuff are not messed up and things like that.
No
like your
wonder I
bones.
didn't grow up.
And so like
That's why I stretched out. I didn't work out at all.
My dad has a market at that time, and you know how the tough people, the parents in Mexico, they make me lift heavy, heavy like
Couches,
Crazy.
yes,
refrigerators,
everything like yes,
Cars?
I blame my dad. Yeah, it's you.
horses, cows
Yes, horses.
on our back. Just
Yeah,
out there just,
Like
just
nothing,
doing,
right?
doing whatever you got to do.
even till this day. Till this day.
Facts. But I mean, so like it was what I was, and then I started at 12. I had iron in the backyard. You know what I mean? So I was always lifting weights. Like my friends would be out in front. When I was like 14, 15 years old, I'm out in the backyard getting pumped. You know what I'm saying? Hitting some curls with that little rusty iron and doing some chest press, some lunges. But just all of that, it was like a boiling pot for me. Like I had. Like it was like a pot of gumbo. Like I just had so many things going on. Like we were working out. We were playing basketball in the front of the house. At school, I played football. I ran track.
Biggest track runner out there.
Hey, no.
Big old big old wide back.
Look, check it out.
runner.
Surprisingly, I was not the biggest kid in school, like in high school. I wasn't. I was one of the strongest. I wasn't the biggest kid though. We had some we called some of my boys, we were called man-childs, right?
Yeah.
Like these were some big dudes, like, but I wasn't the smallest either. Yeah. So when I graduated, I was still built though. Like, you know what I mean? But there was some kids that were like, dog, why are you
so wide back?
Not even that, like 215, bro. Like just some big dudes. Yeah. You know, but I feel like we had like one of the most athletic teams, you know, playing football, me growing up, that you would probably ever see.
Yeah.
And some of the guys, we had a lineman that was like 330, that was like faster than some linebackers.
That's crazy.
Wow. Like straight ahead, like straight ahead. Oh, for sure.
That's crazy.
And so, just doing all that, you know, like I said, boxing. When I got into more of the mixed martial arts when I realized like I'm not a small dude. I'm never gonna be like boxing size. I would literally have to just. This started actually when I was about 22 years old. I started working at Staples in Riverside.
Okay.
And there was a gym called. It was called. Damn, why do I want to keep calling it King Fitness? It was called KO. KO.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
KO,
yeah.
right there off of Indiana and Tyler.
Yeah.
I think they had a boxing show.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
And I did have a amateur fight over there.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I met this trainer named Eric. And he actually came into Staples. They were doing some flyers. They had just opened it. And I was about 22, 23 years old, somewhere around there. And he was like, hey, man, you look fit, whatever. I was like, no. I said, yeah, I box a little bit, you know. And so I went over there. This is a funny story. When I went over there, so I would say, I want to do mixed martial arts. Because, you know, that's when UFC and Pride Fighting was like starting to come up, you know, whatever. And so I'm like, he's like, okay, so cool. I'm getting there, going there for about the first week. Hey, this little dude kicked my ass. Now, he didn't kick my ass in stand-up. When we did that grappling, though, boy, whooped my ass all over the damn mat, bro. But technique. I'm using pure strength trying to get out, you know, but then all I did for a whole month straight was grapple. And, bro, next time, whoever we locked up with, it was not going down like that. I was a problem, you know, so I never took it that far. I wanted to. I actually had a match that I was going to do an amateur fight, right? And I ended up playing in the Speed League. It's a football league.
Oh, wow.
And I tore my ACL. Like I did a 10% tear in my knee. And the match.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I was just like, nope. Yeah. And then I always worked out. So I always stayed with it. But working out, like I said, it started at 12. And then, you know, I've been through a lot as far as like the training. And I've worked with some of the best trainers. And I just stayed at it. You know, my dad is one of my all-time trainers. He's a for-life trainer, you know. My dad, he's crazy. He tells me all the time, like, oh, you can't do it. Like, even now, he'll see me and he'll be like, yeah, you're not ready. I'm going to teach you something. Like, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
I'm like 50 years old man already.
No, what? Hey, chill out, bro. So I would tell him, I'm like, bro, like, listen, your time is up. It's my time now.
Yeah.
Let's make it time.
Let's make it time. On that note.
So, you know, I just always, and that's the thing, like, you know, I grew up, like I said, I grew up very supported. Obviously, you met my family.
Yes.
And also, but I've also we've been corrected a lot, you know. My brothers, we're always, you know, criticized. Not in the bad way, to where it's like, to the point where it's like, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that, or you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. It's like, what's your purpose? What's your reasoning? You know what I mean? Why are you doing it? If you're going to do it, you better do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Full-fledged. If you're going to play this sport, you're going to train for this sport. Mm-hmm. Wow. You know, I'm like that with my kids. Like, I don't play that game. You know what I mean? You're not going to do anything and then just say, oh, you're going to go sit on the couch and say you're going to do something. No, we're not doing that.
No.
You know? But yeah, for sure. That's how I grew up. Like I said, I try to summarize it just as much as possible. But for sure, like I said, and now, I'll be honest with you. If you would have asked me, what are we in, 2024? You'd have asked me this question back in like 2013, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I would never thought any of this would be what it is right now. I'll be honest with you, you know, because this wasn't my mindset. My mindset was just like, okay, I just love what I'm doing right now. But now I see something, once I started to see what I'm capable of and the opportunities for myself, it became such a bigger and broader like light for me, because like you said, like, sky's the limit. Yeah. You know, I don't see everything in my way is roadkill at this point. You know, whether it's my career or whoever wants to get in the gym with me, whoever, because I know there's a lot of people out there. But that's my mentality, though.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way, like not to downplay anybody, but at the end of the day, I'm a workhorse. And so. If you want some work, come see me. And I've always had that mentality. Like, I don't like to lose. I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yes.
I'm sure you feel the same way. I do not like to lose. I've always been a poor sport. You know what I mean? Nah, but I'll give a person props, when it's done. But at the end of the day, I'm competitive as well. And that's what's always driven me to be this person who I am today. You know what I mean? So that pretty much sums that up. Yeah, for sure.
Great job. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Same to you.
have
We
a
love having you on the
beautiful
show.
family.
We loved having you on the show.
Thank you.
For sure,
Thank you
for
so
sure.
much, Vanessa.
Like I said, you won't ever know how much I love you, but
I love you
maybe
too. Thank you.
now you know a
Appreciate
little bit. But every time I've called you, every time I needed you to show up, you always show up, and if nothing's ever changed, and if you ever need me for anything, I'm always there for you.
Likewise, whenever you feel like you need advice, for my experience in
Yeah.
bodybuilding, whenever you need help with, I'm here. To
You know
help
I
as
will.
well.
You
Yes.
know I will. But on that note, we're gonna call it the greatest interview of all time. I'm just kidding. But
We're going to check it out. Look, so we love having you on the show. And we look forward to seeing what you're going to do in the future. That's
Thank
for
you.
sure. I'm going to keep up with you. Now I started following you the other day.
Oh, really? Oh, thank
I
you.
did. I did. I
Yeah.
got your handle from
Yeah,
her.
when I let her know.
Because I had to figure out. I had to figure out who we were. Who I was.
Yeah,
who we were
like
dealing with
who's
today.
the interviewer.
The person.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy. Like I said,
world
it's small.
champion, Hall of Famer, put some respect on her name. Thank you.
But yo,
Sindy
check it.
Amador.
Say it again.
Sindy Amador.
And yo, check it out. We out.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
mega
you,
time.
guys.
Mega time.
Peace.
Yay.